Hey, we're Saints. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Father Chris here. Welcome to our Crucifixional live stream. I'm thrilled to have you beautiful people with us. We're talking about what happens when tragedy strikes. Because tragedy is something inevitable in all of our lives. No one avoids it. Sometimes we lose a loved one, or we may lose a job, or have a spouse that does something terrible to us, or children that get themselves in awful situations. We may have ailments, like physical ailments. This is a real one right now in the world, where people are sick all the time, and some of these diseases are life threatening. I mean, the list could go on and on, right? We all have different tragic events, tragedies that happen to us, and we're exploring the options that a warrior saint has to overcome those tragedies. And one of them is simply to just lay down and die, right? Like, and I mean that figuratively. But the whining about woe is me, and why did this happen to me, and what did I do to deserve this? The worst one is, why did God do this to me, right? Those are tempting thoughts that pop into our minds that are really they're tempting. Let's just say that. Conversely, the other alternative is to say, all right, stuff happens. I can't control it. Things just happen to me in my life, not by my own doing. Sometimes they're by my own doing, but sometimes they just happen to me. I'm not going to let that overcome me or overwhelm me. I am going to get up and get after it and make a change, because tragedies are coming. You submit or you fight against them. A great example of this is the late Kobe Bryant. Now, I'm sure we all know who Kobe is. Who Kobe was. He was a great player for the Lakers, and he was like just a stud coming out of high school. The Lakers picked him, and he was going to be the next guy. And for the first few years of his career, he was, an amazing athlete, an amazing player, but he kept losing in the playoffs. Well, he didn't make the playoffs, and then he would lose when we got there. There was I remember one year against the Utah Jazz, where the final shot came into his hands, and it was a three-pointer, and he shot an air ball. And they were ousted from the playoffs by the Utah Jazz. I forgot the year. At any rate, you would think that in those moments, Kobe might say to himself, woe is me, right? Like, why is this happening to me? I'm the best player and all this kind of stuff, and yet I'm losing all the time, and I can't get that, over the hump of winning the championship. But Kobe didn't do that. Kobe found, probably had the greatest work ethic of anyone in the NBA ever. He's known for it. He decided, I'm going to get it. I'm going to work harder and work harder and work harder, and I'm going to overcome this. And as you know, eventually he became the league MVP, scoring champion, dunk champion. He became the All-Star Game MVP. He also won 5 championships, right? He's known to be one of, if not the best, not the best, but one of the very best basketball players to ever play the game, because he had a strong work ethic. When tragedy and challenge came into his life, he didn't submit, he didn't quit, he didn't whine, he just got back to work, and he, grind, right? Like, it's just the grind. That's what a warrior saint is also called to do, right? Like, the key part of being a warrior saint is to live crucifixionally. That means I got to set my will aside so I can make some room to do God's will, right? And to produce fruit. We're supposed to give more back than we received. That's our task, right? That's what a real man is supposed to be doing. A warrior saint has 4 pillars, 4 like foundational principles that hold him up. Yesterday we talked about being the king, the one who leads, right? Today we're going to talk about the knight. And a knight is someone who he protects, the realm. He provides, sustenance for the king. He's got honor, integrity. But a knight also has a strong work ethic, right? Like, knights would not submit to this woe is me attitude. Any historical historically, there have been bad knights, but overall, you understand the idea, the premise that I'm bringing to us, is that we are supposed to have a work ethic that is unrivaled, unparalleled, much like Kobe Bryant. We get this directly from Scripture itself. Now listen to these words. This is from St. Paul's epistle to the Colossians in chapter 3, when we hear, whatever your task, work heartily as serving the Lord and not men. Work heartily as serving the Lord and not men, knowing that from the Lord you will receive the inheritance as your reward. You are serving the Lord Christ, right? Like, he's really like sticking it in our faces. He's telling us, like, look, work, bro, grind, right? And do it because it's for the Lord. Do it because it's what the Lord has asked us to do. He has given you a task, a purpose to be a man, a knight with a strong work ethic so that you can develop into that full warrior saint. Do it for God and give it 100%. Give it 100%. And he's going to bless it. I don't know when. I don't know how. All I know, like, perfect example is the Warrior Saints ministry. I don't know what the blessings that are coming, but I'm doing my best to grind for the Lord, to work heartily for the Lord. And every day we're coming at you, and every Sunday we're preaching. And throughout the month in our parish, we have 9 Bible studies, and we're just grinding. We study on our spare time. We write in our free time. We're just giving 100%. And you know what? I really know. And I don't know when, but I know that the Lord is going to bless this ministry. Maybe he already has. Maybe by virtue of the fact that you beautiful people are part of us is the blessing from the Lord. I mean, and I'm grateful for that. It's just, that's not my concern. My work ethic is all that matters. Grind, baby. Let's get some. And that's it's an uncomfortable thing. That's why we use that word crucifixional, because the world wants you to make it comfy, right? And be easy. And it's why it's easy to whine about the tragedies that we face and to fall into them and submit to them. Why me, right? Because that's easier. But that doesn't get it done. That is not working heartily for the Lord. And that challenge, that grind that I'm pushing you for today, it's hard work. And it ain't comfortable sometimes. It's a struggle. That's the whole point. But you don't have to do that alone. And sometimes you may be saying, as you're struggling, maybe in your own businesses, as the gents are watching, like maybe your business is failing or it's not doing as well as you want, or, probably your expenses are a fearful number, right? Like I get all that kind of stuff, and it's overwhelming. And you think, like, this could fail, and my family could suffer, and my reputation would be ruined, and I might not have to pay enough money to pay the bills or lose the house or whatever those real fears that we may face are. But I'm telling you, bro, you do not have to do that by yourself. We're here for you. That's why the Warrior Saints exist. God put us here for that purpose, to help you as you are journeying to become that strong knight who has a strong work ethic on his way to becoming a strong warrior saint. You want to join us? You want some help? We're going to give you 100%. Just visit us at warriorsaints.org. There is a marvelous offering that we call it our library. It's the Way of the Warrior Saint. And the Way of the Warrior Saint is simply that. It's a library filled with teachings to help you become that strong knight. We even have a series called What is a Warrior Saint, where we go through that, giving you practical tools to be the best man that you can be. You can also find our book. Great. It'll help you. There's a lot of great tools, great chapters in here that will help us as we are becoming warrior saints. Guess what? We're going to be back tomorrow because we're grinding. Till then, keep walking on the way of the warrior saint.